Is it too late to start over in your 50s? This is a question that lots of people ask themselves, especially because society often tells them that it is too late, especially for women. But I'm here to tell you today that it is not too late. In fact, over the next 7 or 8 minutes, something like that, I'm not sure exactly how long this video is going to be, but I'm going to show you how starting over in your 50s is actually the best time to do it. And I'm living proof. Hey, I'm Tess. So I had asked myself this question a lot until I finally ignored all those annoying little voices in my head and quit my toxic job and relationship within about 2 months of each other at age 54. And it turns out that was exactly what I needed to do to start living my best life. So first I want to say, if you are having any fear or uncertainty about starting over in your 50s, you are not alone. So society tells us that we should be kind of settled by now, like we should be retiring soon and eating soft foods. But you know what? Jell-O sucks. So when someone talks about starting over, we're usually talking about one of two things: in starting over in a relationship or starting over in your career. And these are two huge things that take up so much space in your life. So understandably, starting over with either of those things is really scary. So let's break this down, and I will share a little bit about how I did it, and then I'll share why I think that our 50s is actually the best time to start over. So let's start with the career stuff. So I worked my butt off for like 30 years, right? And the last 7 years I had spent at a corporate job that was paying me really well, but left me really just burnt out and anxious and depressed all the time. I tried everything. I took vacations. I even took a 3-month leave of absence, hoping that I would be able to reset. But every time I went back, all that stuff would just come back: the stress, the migraines, the crippling back pain, even the insomnia, anxiety, depression. Yeah, all of that fun stuff. So I got into therapy, which was really helpful, and it helped me realize this was not just a job problem. It was a health problem. And I totally believe that mental health affects your physical health. I mean, your mental health is health. Let's just get that out of the way. That is part of your health, and you need to make sure that you are in good mental health. So my therapist said something that really stuck with me. I'll never forget it. She mentioned that people our age often are miserable in their jobs. They're super burned out, anxious, all of that stuff. But they just tell themselves, I'll just keep doing this and I'll keep grinding away until I retire, and then I'll enjoy my life then. I'll relax, I'll travel, do the things you want to do. Then they get to retirement and they're too sick to enjoy their retirement, because all that stress and burnout had made them sick. And hearing that just struck a chord. I realized that scared me more than quitting my job did. And I was terrified that I'd never make any money again, but with a lot of support from my therapist, I set a date and I did it. I left. So I started consulting, and I work half as much with way less stress. And I get to choose my clients. I get to choose my hours. I don't even set an alarm in the morning. And yes, I make less money than I did, but I make enough. And the peace and freedom that I gained from leaving that job, you can't put a price on it. I honestly can't imagine ever working for anybody else again. Except, this guy. And looking back, I honestly wish I had done it sooner, but I'm so glad that I finally did, and it turned out it was just on time because it saved my mental health. It saved me. And so you may be saying, okay, well, that was your choice to leave. What about when you're laid off? Because I know that some people in their 50s are getting laid off, and that is definitely no fun, and that's not really your choice. But honestly, it doesn't mean it's the end of the world. In fact, it could be a gift. So let me tell you a story about my friend, and this is a true story. This was last year. He was 59 years old, got laid off from a job he'd been at for 20 years, and he was devastated, and he had not had to look for a job in 20 years, so he had no idea what to do, and he thought he was just going to wind up on the street living in a bag. But 4 months later, he got a better job with better pay, better benefits, a pension, and a much, much shorter commute, like a 10-minute commute versus his old commute, which was an hour and a half. So it just goes to show your job loss could actually be the best thing to ever happen to you. And there may be something much better waiting for you on the other side. So whether you jump or you're pushed, just know that it is not too late to build something better. Don't let fear take over. Just move forward. Your story is not over, and in fact, it might be your best chapter. Now, before we get into the relationship side of things, if you're enjoying this video so far, please take a moment to subscribe to my channel and give this video a like. I would appreciate it. You rock. Okay, now let's talk about starting over after a relationship. Need a little coffee for this one. So for me, this one was kind of less my choice. Well, sort of. I'll explain. So we had been together for 9 years, and I had been married and divorced before that. So this was like my second long-term relationship after that. And honestly, the relationship had been bad for a couple of years, but I was scared to leave, and I still loved him. But he betrayed me. I don't know why I said it like that. I feel like betrayed is just like such a dramatic word, but that is what happened. He betrayed me, and that was a deal breaker. At first I was like, I'm 54. I'm never going to find another relationship. No one's going to want me. All the crappy stuff that you tell yourself. And I was afraid of being alone, but I took the time to mourn, and that's important. You need to do that. And at first, I will admit, the house felt really empty at first. But then after a few weeks went by, I felt extreme peace. So my ex was really loud, and now the home just felt quiet and peaceful. And I could do anything I wanted to, and I didn't have to worry about him. I could watch Grace and Frankie every night if I wanted to, which I do, by the way, my favorite show. And I could eat popcorn for dinner whenever I wanted to, and didn't have to pick up his nasty little tissues that he left lying all over the house. Those were disgusting. I could do whatever the hell I wanted to because the only person I had to answer to was me. And again, this guy. I had spent so much time worrying about whether or not I'd be able to find another partner that it just didn't even occur to me that I might actually be my very best self single. And at first I tried to date a little bit, but I just realized I didn't want to. I actually liked being alone, and I'm not lonely. There's a difference there. I reconnected with old friends, and I hang out with them from time to time, but honestly, I am just fine on my own. I've gone to restaurants by myself. I've gone to the movies by myself. I've even traveled solo, and honestly, I used to look at women who would travel solo, and I would think they were just these amazing baddies, and now I'm one of them. And I can honestly say that I really just don't want a man or any kind of romantic relationship. I am good on my own. And that might change sometime in the future, but for now, I'm good. If you're scared to be alone, I get it. I totally get it. But just think, what if that empty house that you're imagining isn't actually loneliness, but peace? Now, here's why I think starting over in your 50s could actually be the best time to do it. So number one, your 50s is actually your I don't give a duck era. And I'm saying duck instead of, the other word. You know what word I mean, just because I don't know if YouTube's going to slap me on the wrist or give me a penalty or something if I say that, if I drop an F-bomb, but I would like to drop an F-bomb. But right now I'm just playing it safe a little bit. But we have spent a lifetime giving all the ducks, and now we're fresh out of ducks. We're totally just done making everybody else happy or doing things that we think society wants us to do or that others want us to do, our friends, our family, blah, blah, blah. Now we're just making ourselves happy. And that's a beautiful thing. And number two, you have so much life experience. So, whether it's career or relationships or anything else, you've seen some shit, girl. I know you have. I have too. You've already been through all kinds of tough stuff, so you know you can do this. All this life experience gives us confidence that we can handle whatever comes our way. And number three, and this might be my favorite, we're Gen X. We're the badassiest generation of them all. We drank from the hose, rode in the back of trucks, left the house all day long with no cell phone and no way for our parents to track us. Our parents were just like, they'll be fine. And you know what? They were right. We were fine. And you'll be fine. It all depends on your mindset and the actions you take to make it happen. And we'll be talking a lot more about that in future videos. So be sure to stick around and subscribe to my channel so we can explore more of that. Let's form a community of Gen X women who will support each other, cheer each other on, and just let the world know that it is our time, baby. And if you want to know the 3 things that I wish I had known before starting over in my 50s, watch this video next. And of course, remember, you're a bad mama jamma. I'll see you in the next video.